Good day, my name is George, mentor in the GADS program, and today I'll be doing, as usual, we're doing another YouTube video showing you how to configure Cloud IAM, Identity and Access Management on GCP. Okay, this lab should last for like an hour and we'll get a total of 15 marks, and there are 3 major steps, tasks, if I'll call it that, or steps in completing this lab. So if you have any issues, you simply click on one of these buttons for whichever of the steps you're having issues, and you should see a pop-up window that would help you figure out what the problem is. Okay, so let's begin by clicking here. Of course, read the objectives, read through the labs. Here we'll be using 2 user accounts, and we'll demonstrate following instructions here on how to switch between the accounts, and then play around with access management, resource access and management. Okay, so let's click on start button here. Okay, let's be sure we are not, okay, get rid of this, and then crosswalks, confirm that we are human. Click on that. Okay, so that goes as expected. Let me put this up here. All right, so first part of it is to sign in as the first user. Let's click on this and take this first username, put that in here, paste that in, go to next, and then pick up the username, the password, sorry, and not the second user. The second user will sign in later. All right, so sign into this, use an incognito window as always instructed, sign in as the second user. So that's the first task. So let's click on this. All right, it opens up this. Let me take this here. Okay, let's finish up signing in with the first user before we attempt to do a sign-in with the second user. Okay, so when you get here, you don't need to update anything. Please don't update anything. You simply need to click on confirm and move to the next window. Okay, click on that. So let's sign in with that first user, then we will go on to sign in with the second user. Here we will take the second username and then click there and say next. Okay, and then of course you use the same password as we did in the first user's case. Let me hold on there, let me be sure I signed in, but it shouldn't matter anyway. So let's see what happens. Let's click on sign in. Okay, same steps as that of the first user. Okay, confirm here too, and then all right, so let's give it a few minutes. It should come up. Meanwhile, when we do that, the next task will be to explore the current roles in the IAM console, and we will go to this area, and then we'll look at the role for username 1, and then look at that for username 2. Okay, so let's check out and see. We're still in the process, so let's give it a few seconds. All right, so let's check on our progress. We're still here. This goes to confirm. Let's confirm for the second user. We're still having issues. Let's reload this tab and see what happens. Okay, second user appears to go smoothly. Okay, first user has also decided to move forward. Okay, I'm guessing my internet is a bit slow. Okay, so that might be the case too. Alright, so let's click out here. Okay, okay. Alright, so let me, it's taking longer than necessary. I hope the fact that I try to sign in at the same time with 2 users is not causing this issue. Alright, so let me do this. Let me close this and then open up this again and then start all over. This time we'll wait for user 1 to be completely signed up before we go to signing up for user 2. Okay, so we're sure we're not the one causing the problems. Okay, so I'm guessing network might be the issue, not necessarily that. Okay. Alright, so let me just shut this, stop the video, and then when it moves on to the next stage, we'll resume that. Okay, so it's gone to the next phase. We'll click on that, and then let's prepare for the second user. Okay, let's do that. Let's pick the username. Let's move this here so we're not confused. Okay, so this is ready. So let's quickly go to the IAM area and admin here and check the roles that are assigned to user 1. Okay, while this is coming up, okay, this is up already. Okay, so let's be sure this is the second user. Let's click here. Okay, excuse me. Okay, the account name there is student 0384. Let's check here, be sure. 0384, so that's the same user. So this is still user 1. So let's click here and say, okay, so all right, so that's the second user. Let's click on that. Let's see and be sure. Okay, 03D9. Okay, let me check on this. 03D9, of course. So both will have been signed in. So let me close this window because we don't need that. Meanwhile, let's look at user 1 and see the roles assigned to it. Okay, so user 1 is this one. It's App Engine Service Admin, Compute Storage Admin, Project Editor, Project Owner, Project IAM Admin, Storage Admin, Viewer. While user 2 just has the role of Project Viewer. Okay, all right, so that's a primitive role, so this should come up. Okay, so let's look at the next thing we're supposed to do. Okay, we've checked that one out. Then click on the edit button for user 2. Click viewer to expand the list of possible roles. Do not change any. Okay, so we'll click here and we'll click here. All right, so click on viewer to see possible roles. So there are a lot of roles here. Actions admin and actions viewer, cloud build, a lot. Okay, so we're not supposed to change anything, just click cancel. All right, so this is still coming up. Let's go back here. and switch to user 2. On the navigation menu, click this and then click the edit button on the line for user 2. You will not be able to edit the role. Okay, so we need to have this up so that we actually see that user 2 cannot edit, cannot change or add permissions to, or cannot change the roles that have been assigned to the user. It cannot be only be done by user 1. Okay, this is okay, so that's, hopefully we are okay. Let's go into the IAM. Okay, actually requires that we do this, so let's click on that. All right, so let's click here, go down here and check that out. Okay, so let's go down to user 1. That will be this. Okay, so let's try a C. You need permissions for this action. So user 1 doesn't have permission to change the roles assigned to it. You can view the roles, but it can't. Of course, it's just a project viewer. Okay, so you can look, view every details about resources, but you can't alter the resources. Okay, so task 3 says prepare a resource for access testing. Okay, we go back to user 1 and then activate our Cloud shell, and let's activate it here. Okay, all right, click continue, and then when that is done, we'll create a Cloud bucket that would be called named after our project ID, or named using our project ID, and will be in location US Central 1. Okay, so that is done. We'll paste that in there and hit that, and we'll ask to authorize. You click on that, and that should be coming up. Now we run this command to create a sample text file in your Cloud shell. Okay, we echo this piece of text into this file. Okay, using the redirect operator. Okay, so let's do that. All right, that's been done, and if you do a list, it shows you the file here. All right, so next thing we do, we copy that sample text file into, we've done that. And then we switch to user 2 and activate our Cloud shell there too. Click here and then click here, and then what we're supposed to do, we will list the content of that the content of the bucket we created. So let's do that here. Okay, the project hasn't been selected, so we need to do that first. So gcloud config set projects. Okay, let's get the project ID, which is this. Come back here and paste that in and hit that. Okay, and then we authorize, come here and of course list the content of that bucket that was created by user 1. Okay, all right, so it does list. So as the project viewer role allows user 2 to be able to do that. Now let's try this. Run the following command to create a file and try to upload it. So let's do that. It's a 2-line command. Copy that and paste that, and access denied. Okay, let me take this up and let me see All right, okay, let's make it large. All right, so we'll see what we're doing. All right, so we come down here. Of course, we had access denied. Now remove project access role for user 2, switch to user 1, and then delete for user 2. Click on the pencil icon, edit button, click the delete icon next to assign role, and click save. Okay, so we come back here. We'll click on this and we get rid of this, and we say save. Okay, come back here. All right, and it said notice that the user has disappeared from the list. Okay, the user is no more there. Okay, so verify that user 2 has lost access. Try to list the content of that bucket again. So let's do that here. Okay, it does list, so it takes a bit before the action we just took takes effect. All right, so it's not immediate, so let's try that again. Still does that. Let's try that again. Okay, so let's hold on, let's clear the screen, let's give it a few moments and it should take effect. Let's hold on and let the changes we made propagate through the system or through the account, and so that we can okay, all right, so let's try that again. Okay, so access denied. Okay, all right, so let's come back here. Of course, if you can still see the file, the access change has not taken effect yet. Wait a minute and then try again. Of course, that has happened. Now from user 2 console, try to access the compute engine service. On navigation menu, click compute and VM. Let's go here, let's click here. Let me minimize this. Okay, that's the same. Let's go down to compute services. Okay, all right, so let's click on this. Let's come down here, compute. Let's go to this. Let's see what happens. Okay, it wouldn't. You would not be able to. So you don't have permissions. Let's do that again. Let's see what's. All right, let's do that again. Failed to load. Of course, permissions have been withdrawn, so user 2 should not be able to see any VMs or see details about compute engine instances. Now add storage access, add storage object viewer only permissions for user 2. Now copy the value of user 2, which is this, from the Quick Labs connection details here, and then switch to user 1, go to the IAM and admin section. Under IAM, add a user and then give the user the role cloud storage object viewer. Okay, we'll come back here, say add, drop that there. Okay, all right, pick that one up, and then we do storage. Let's go down to S. Okay, cloud storage, I think, not just storage, cloud storage. Let's go back up, cloud storage, and we're supposed to object viewer role. Click on that, let's be sure, and then click save. Okay, let's save that. All right, so verify the username has storage access, switch to user 2, click on the console, and then try to do this, the same thing we did before. All right, so of course you give it a minute and allow the changes to propagate. Okay, let's do that. Let's see. Okay, so we're able to see that now. It's done that, so we see the file that was stored in that cloud storage bucket. All right, so task 6, create custom roles. GCP allows for the creation of custom roles. Custom roles can be used to map your organization's specific job roles to GCP permissions. A custom role can combine permissions from multiple GCP services into one role, then share that new role across your entire organization. Important, generally it is better to use predefined roles first because they are managed by Google. Creating and using custom roles allows for specific permissions to be set, but add operational overhead because they must be manually managed. So any updates to custom roles, you have to do it. Any updates to services on the Google platform will have to be manually added by you to your custom roles. But if you were to use predefined roles, then that will be done automatically for you. Okay, so create a custom role using GCP console. Go back to user 1, click create role. Okay, so we go to roles under IAM and admin. Okay, we're here, we go to roles here. Click on this, let me minimize this. Okay. Okay, so click on create roles. Alright, so what will our role be called? The title is privacy reviewer. Okay, so let's get that, copy that. Title is this. Okay, and description is custom role to review, role to perform data review. So we'll copy that and paste that here. And then ID is privacy viewer. Copy that, come up here and put that here, and then go up here, and then role launch stage is alpha. Okay, alpha is selected by default. Each of the placeholder has values. Each of the placeholder values is described below. Title is a friendly title for the role. Description is a short description, must be unique. ID must be unique. Role launch stage, it can either be alpha, beta, generally available, or disabled. Then click add permissions. Okay, so add permissions. All right, so let me put this one here and then come back here. Now in the filter table, type spanner and press enter. Okay, so filter table, type spanner and then enter. All right, and we have so many that has come out, so many options. Okay, now select big table, bigtables.tables.get, bigtables.tables.list, bigtables.tables.read rows, and then click add. So bigtables.get, I see backups here, I don't see. Let's go back and be sure. I think we skipped something. Okay, spanner.databases.get, spanner.databases.list. So spanner.databases is not available. Interesting. Okay, so let's go to the next page. Databases, let's go. Okay, let's go again. Okay, so that's get and lists, and then what do? Click on add. Okay, so click here. All right, then we repeat the same thing. This time we type big table, add permissions. Okay, click on that. Oh, sorry, not here. Click on this big table, and then hit enter. All right, so now we want we're looking for tables.get, tables.list, and tables.read rows. Big table.tables, so we need to go over T. Okay, there it is. Let's go back a bit. Let's go back a bit. Table list. Okay. Table lists, table gets, and read rows. Okay, let's be sure we did it right. Read rows. Okay, so we come here, said read rows. Okay, so let's click add. All right, come over here, and this is what 8 assigned permissions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't see 8. It's actually just 5. Okay. Okay, let's be sure. Let's do something. Let's check. Said show added and remove permissions. Added permission spanner. big table. Okay, let's go back and check. Okay, there are 3 here and this is 2, so 1 2 3 4 5. But here we have database get, we have buckets list, we have okay, this bucket list is the one, and storage objects get and storage object list is the one that was assigned to user 2, if I'm not mistaken. So let's hold on, let's check that again. It's a custom role. Okay, added 8 permissions. So let's add that of storage, because I don't see storage here. So let's do that now. Let's add permissions. Let's click here, let's add storage, hit enter, and then of course we are looking for storage buckets lists, storage object get, storage object list. Okay, so storage bucket lists, let's go to the next. Storage object, okay, so object, storage object lists, storage object list, storage object gets. Okay, let's go back. Storage objects gets, and then storage buckets list. So that should be here, but I don't see it here. Storage buckets create, storage class gets. I don't see that here. Okay, let's go to the next. Object, storage object lists. Let's click this and click this. Get a list. Let me add that. Okay, so it's 9 here. Actually, buckets gets bucket lists. Okay, so this should be off. Let's check that again. So there's no bucket gets, it's just bucket lists. So let's get rid of this one. Okay, that should not be there. Okay, so then we click create. All right, so let's click create here. All right, so let's see our custom role. That's it. Let's click on it and see what we have there to be sure. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. So we're on. It's okay. Now your new custom role should now be displayed on the top of the roles table. Create a custom role using the CLI and the YAML file. Okay, so roles can also be created using CLI and a YAML file. The YAML file contains the role definition, and it's in the form this. So the YAML file for the role you just created in the GCP console would look like this. Title, description, included permissions will be this. And then do not copy it above, and then verify that you are still on the browser tab for user 1, and then open Cloud Shell if it's not open, and then do nano role.yaml. Okay, so we're here. Let's bring up our terminal. Let's bring it up a bit, and then I prefer to, okay, let me use nano. I'd rather use the Vim. Okay, so let me copy this and paste it in here. Just paste it there. All right, so that's the role. Okay, and app viewer. So we created a role known as the, what's the name of the role again? It was called what was it called? It was called a privacy reviewer. This time we have app viewer. Okay, the permissions that are added there: complete instances get, list, and then app engine version get and version list. Now do Ctrl X and Y and then press enter to close this window. So Ctrl X, Y, and then enter. All right, so that's been saved. Now to create a new role, run the following command. Okay, so Cloud IAM roles create app viewer. Okay, it's different from this. Okay, different from the title here, and then project is our current project, and the file to use is the one we just created. So let me click to copy that and then paste that in. Okay, I think my network has issues now. Let me see. Okay, so let's give it a few minutes to catch its breath. All right, so list the roles at present. Okay, hold on. I think I lost it there. Something has happened, so we could close this. Let's minimize and bring it up again. Okay, so let me bring this down. Okay, so let's go back to roles. Okay, so that's our role. Got it. Let's bring this up again and see if we're back. All right, so let's begin the process of creating the role. All right, so that's been created. Okay, so I had it went through, but the D keys I hit still presented themselves. Let's see if I actually created that role. Okay, so list project roles. Okay, roles list, custom role to view apps. Okay, all right. Okay, so there are two of them, privacy reviewer and app viewer. So it was created. So let's come back here and then check our progress. All right, so use a custom role. Make sure let's look at the format of that custom role. We have a title, a description. Okay, not this. We have a title, description, stage, and then included permissions. So that's the format for that one. And then the command to create that is this: create the name of the roles and then the project and the file to use to create that. Okay, so let's look at this. App viewer was used. All right, okay. All right, so let me minimize this and see if I refresh. I should refresh, not if. Let's refresh this. Yes, I want to refresh this. I want to see that other custom role that we created from the terminal. All right, so we use the custom role. We go to this part of our console and then locate the line for user 2 and click the edit button, and then of course you should see this as a current role, and then we will add a role, and then we'll select a role and a custom category. Select one of the roles you just created and click save. So we can do any one. Okay, so those are the two roles. Okay, app viewer, and let's check this out. This is quite important because look at the name. Okay, app viewer, lowercase and an underscore. Okay, so let's go to let's go to IAM area of the console and then go down and look for user 1, which is this one. Okay, so that's all storage object. So click here and then add another role, and then under custom should be C if I'm not mistaken. All right, so under custom we'll pick any one. Let me see, let me click on that one and click save. All right, so okay, all right, so we've done that. Maintain custom roles. When using custom roles, it is important to track what permissions are associated with the custom or with the roles you create, because available permissions for GCP services evolve and change over time. Unlike GCP predefined roles, you control if and when permissions are added or removed. Modify role permissions. To modify an existing role, you need to first get the role's definition, update the definition, and then update the role. Make sure you are on user 1. To retrieve app viewer roles definition, run the following command. Okay, so this command will actually describe this particular role in this project. Okay, so let's click on that. Okay, it's already zoomed in, so but let's try that one out. Okay, so let's go here. My shell has disappeared. Of course, we refreshed the page, so it's disappeared. So let's bring it up again. Of course, it's recovering everything we did previously, and it's smaller. So let's click on this, and then the size, and we say large. Okay, so let's paste that one there. Okay, so it's brought up the definition for the app viewer role. Okay, so it says steps would be get the definition, update the definition, and then update the role. So we've got the definition. Now this is the definition for that role. Stage disabled. Let's see. Stage alpha. Did I miss something? Let's go back up. It says alpha, but here it says, let's go back to where it was created. Stage alpha. So unless we're looking at another role in error. App viewer. Okay. It says stage disabled. Why is that disabled? I wouldn't know. Okay. Okay, maybe it's disabled. Is it? Okay, so that's all right. Let's leave it as it is. Okay, so let us do update role.yaml. Let's create that one. Do that here. All right, so then paste the output from the describe command into nano editor. Okay, so let me save this file. Okay, okay, I closed it. Actually, I should have said let's see, let me copy this. Okay, so up to here. Okay, that's been copied, and then let's open that nano file again and then paste it. Okay, so let's be sure we are doing the right thing. All right, so we are description, custom role, and all that. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, add the following two lines just below the included permission lines. Okay, let's click on this, click on that, just under that, so we can put it here. Okay, sorry. All right, this, and then paste. All right, let's get rid of that blank line. Okay, and then we save. Okay, so Y, and then hit that. Okay, so to update, we will do IAM roles update app viewer object, and we'll pass in that update file. Okay, so click here and then paste it there. All right, so okay, so the role has been updated. All right. Okay, so click here to check our progress, and that's been done. Disable a role. You can disable a custom role when a role is disabled. Any policy bindings related to the role are inactivated, which means that the permissions in the role will not be granted even if you grant the role to a user. Make sure you are in user 1. Then to disable this role, we run this command: IAM roles stage disabled. Okay, so let's disable that one. Put that there, and of course that has changed, so it's now disabled. All right, so delete a role. Roles that are deleted are suspended and cannot be used to create new IAM policy bindings. After the role has been deleted, existing bindings remain but are inactive. The role can be undeleted within 7 days. After 7 days, the role enters a permanent deletion process that lasts 30 days. Okay, make sure you are in user 1 and then delete app_viewer role. So let's click on that. And okay, all right, so let's paste that there. Okay, oh, it's gone already. All right, so let me look at roles. Let's go to roles, app viewer. Let's see the details. All right, the ID is this. Okay, so that ID is actually the name we use in this command. This is the ID. Okay, and the description is just the title is just the title. Okay, all right, so that's cleared up. Now to list the roles, we click on this and of course bring up our terminal and then paste that in there. Okay, so this is disabled, that is app viewer role, while this other one is okay. Let's be sure we know what we're doing. All right. Okay, so only the privacy reviewer role is displayed. The other one doesn't display. Okay. So that's lists. I say to list all the roles in the project, including deleted ones, we will pass show deleted option. So let's click on that one and then paste that there. Okay, so there you go. So the disabled one is there, and of course app viewer is there, and the privacy reviewer role is also listed. All right. Okay. Undeleted role. To undelete a role, you will run this and say undelete. Okay, so it's as simple as that. Just copy that and paste that, and that should undelete the one we did, and then we'll list it again, and this should be listed. Okay, this time. Okay, all right, so this time we did not say show deleted, so it did. Although disabled, it wasn't deleted, it was undeleted. So that's as far as you can go, and of course that is the end of the lab, and we have our full 15 marks. So you just need to close all the resources you have provisioned for the lab. Make sure you do that, and then end the lab. If you don't end the lab will keep running for your current profile. So but if you have that issue, just log in again with the credentials, and then you should see the lab still running, and then you can end the lab. So leave a review and then click submit. Thank you for watching, and kindly leave your likes and comments. Bye bye.